Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. Today we've got maybe the most Kraken focused events of all time. Dear Lord, I mean, it's appropriate. Monster Hunter, right? The monster path. It's about hunting monsters, right? It's about catching those Krakens. And that is what's happening, guys. It's all about, even whales are not exciting enough. We want the Krakens, the biggest monsters of them all. We're going to be breaking this down. The hero's path, the monster path. What is in this path? Well, there's a whole bunch of rewards, including an absolute ton of points for the Titan event. You are not going to be able to skip all of these. If you want to finish the Titan event, you're going to need to get at least some. And we have not only a guaranteed Alatreon Blade Master, the champion, but also a 5-star perfect soul for him as well. So if you are a big old Kraken, you can be walking away with lots of Titan points, lots of other things, and a 5-star awakened Alatreon Blade Master guaranteed. But at what cost? We'll be looking at that. We also, before we do that, take a quick look at the summon pool right here. So we do have the specialists summon pool. It feels like every summon pool is a specialist summon pool. But there you go. This is up for 5 days, and yeah, you've got a 5% chance for legendary, 95% chance for epic. And in this one, we do have the Nergigante Archer or Nergigante Archer. And there's also some good stuff in here, like Theodore is very strong. I do think Snick Track is quite fun. Countess Lix is okay. Oella is great, but a previous fusion. And Strategios Islan is great, but a previous fusion as well. So you do have six good legendaries in there, but fairly small chances. So let's if I whip out a calculator, let's do a really quick math job on this. Let's be very vague. So let's say you need 20 pulls, right? 5%. Let's say 20 shards, or not 20 shards, but 20 summons is going to get you a legendary. Seeing as there's 6 legendaries, let's say to get all 6, you need to do 120 pulls of this. Let's multiply that then by the 25 crystals. So we're going to need 3,000 crystals, and then we can buy 4 crystals for $1. So $1 is equal to 4 crystals. So if we divide that by 4, am I doing that right? $750 to get. Am I doing that right? Maybe I'm doing that wrong. Let me think about that. Yeah, no, I think we're broadly correct, actually. I don't think I've made a mistake. So I mean, roughly, you're looking at. I mean, that would be to get roughly 6 legendaries. I mean, you could get 6 Countess Lix or something, but that seems pretty decent, actually. For a Kraken event. That's actually not too bad, it seems to me. Yeah, I don't know. This seems reasonably not terrible in terms of buying stuff. If you were to walk away with... let me know if I've got the maths on this wrong. I was doing it super, super fast. But it seems like it's not too terrible. Basically, slightly more than $5 for each pull of this, with a 5% chance. So, yeah, it would be approximately $100 each time to get a legendary. Yeah, I mean, obviously you compare that to buying the Xena Pass for, what was that, $40, right? So $40 versus $100. But I mean, I'm just thinking, compared to typical shard events, that actually seems like it's not too bad. Compared to their normal pricing, would I do it? No, it's still $100 for a legendary, still crazy. But, compared to their typical shard events, this doesn't seem as horrendous as possible. But of course, again, you could pull loads and not get her. You could get her on your first go. You could never get her. There's no mercy timer, so you could spend $100 and get literally nothing. You could spend $600 and get 600 epics, $600 worth of epics, and no legendaries at all. It is all possible. It can all happen. Fun stuff. So there is that. Let me know what you think of that. Let me know again if I got that maths wrong, because I'm doing it pretty quick. I was just really focusing on the monster path. So let's look at the monster path. Let's look at that. So this is it, in its entirety, really. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here and a lot of cost. Let's break it down at a relatively simple level. So this is the red path. This is what you have to do if you want to get the champion, the guaranteed champion. So I mean, basically you go down the left-hand side, but then we get stopped because, uh-oh, there's a lock which requires 2 keys. 2 keys. So to get the 2 keys, we've got to branch off and go to the middle, and there we can grab 2 keys, unlock this, continue on. Bada bing, bada boom, simple enough. And you can see the total price of this is 107,750 points, which is a lot of points, let me tell you. To get points, I haven't touched on this, but you've got to level up champions, rank up champions. You have to open soul stones as well. So like, to put it in context, I would say for me right now, let's simplify this to, let's say over the course of a few days, let's say 100 mortal, we've got, let's say 6 immortal, and let's be generous, let's say we sell some souls and we get maybe some more immortals, or this, let's say 2 eternal. So I think this is quite a lot compared to what most people would have. And let's go work that out then in terms of this. So for the monster path, 100 immortals at 100 each, so that's what, 10,000, is it? 10,000, I believe. 6 of these at 6 would be not 9,000. Hopefully I don't get this wrong. And this would be what, 15,000. So 25, so it'd be what, 34,000. We'd be up to 34,000 points. That's with every soul stone that I've been saving used. And like I said, I think that's sort of I think I pulled them all in the last big soul, like not a normal soul event, but the last Hero's Path type soul event, something with substantial rewards. And that's sort of the maximum number of souls I think really you could be getting between those. So that's getting us basically, 34,000. We're basically going 1/3 of the way there with the souls. So you got to come up with like 60,000 plus, almost, well, actually 70,000 points plus of points just from champion training. Now, people go crazy for champ training events to win the tournament, or sorry, champion training tournaments to win a legendary. And of course, the danger with a tournament is that you're not guaranteed to win. Like, someone could fight you and do better and you walk away spending lots of points for nothing. This is guaranteed, but it's still a whole lot of points, right? Like, in terms of getting 70,000, I mean, that's over 100 champions ranked up to 6-star. Like, if I just rank up 5 stars to 6-star, it's over 100 champions. That's a lot. Now, obviously, you'd be, putting brews into them or grinding them up. You're going to get more points getting there, of course. That does just put it in perspective. Like, that's a lot of points. I will think about this, but that's a pretty brutal, it seems to me to be a pretty brutal champion training event. Now, this might be, it is, in fact, pretty much your only chance to get this guy. You might pull him from shards before the end of the event, but he's very limited edition. So, yeah, but, I mean, that's rough. Now, if we want to go, wait for this, though, so that's rough. But if you want to get the 5-star soul for him as well, which makes him way better, that'd be pretty great. It's not very easy to get there. So, we've come down, we've grabbed the 2 keys, we've spent 2 keys, we've got 1 back. And here's the problem. We've got 1 key, but to get down this right-hand side to get to the soul, you need 2 keys. So what do? Well, this is what you've got to do. You've got to actually unlock this for your 1 key, come all the way down here to grab 3 keys. There seems to be an extra key in this event. So now you've got 3 keys. Actually, extra few, yeah, 1 extra key. With your 3 keys, you can then come down the right-hand side, unlock this, have 1 key left over, and come down. Actually grab an extra key, which you can then unlock here. And you got to have 1 key left at the end, which is quite weird. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, and do all of that. Now, this is actually more expensive. Again, unless I made a mistake adding this stuff up, this is more expensive than simply going for the champion. So the champion was 107,000 and change. This is 116,000. The reason being basically the right-hand side itself is effectively as expensive, if not, yeah, it's basically roughly the same price as the left-hand side. But this little chunk here is actually quite expensive compared to this little chunk here. So yeah, yellow ends up being more expensive than red. So if you want to get your 5-star Awakened, Alatrey, and Blade Master all guaranteed, which I love it guaranteed. That's great. But dear Lord, is it going to cost you like a monstrous amount? Like if we just say 200k, right? How much was an Eternal? 200k. Let's do that. So 200,000, we divide that by like 7,500, right? Like you're looking at 26.6 eternal soul stones, to put it in context, which is, it is just mental. At that point, you've almost finished the path, right? If you got any juice left in you, you could obviously come and grab the last bit, but like you're looking at basically maxing out this entire event almost to get both, which is just insane. So I would say there's really no point in going for, like, instead of doing the red path, right? If you were to go and say, oh, I'll just get the soul instead, I'll skip the guaranteed champion, right? You might never get the champion. That seems quite unlikely. Unless you've pulled him before, then you could go get the 5-star soul. That's sort of the only time. But yeah, maybe you go for red, maybe, and get this guy. Or maybe you just skip this event entirely. I think going for both red and yellow is so uber kraken, I can't even comprehend it. But maybe you can. Maybe you can. Those are those two. Now, a couple of other interesting paths. Oh, sorry, that's not this one. Teal. What is this teal path? Well, very, very simple. This path is about trying to grab all of the Titan points for the Titan event. Because here's the thing. With the Titan event, which is also live in-game, okay, the Lunar Titan... I actually haven't talked about this. Let's look at this briefly. But I would say this is a bit of a surprise to me, is that it literally is just the 5-star soul. In previous Titan events, it would have been like 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, then 5-star. So at least if you're getting some of the way, you're getting everything. With this one, it's very top-ended. It's very top-loaded. It's the third Kraken event, really. You have to get all the way up to get the 5-star. And if you miss it, no stars. So it's pretty rough. I would say milestone 1, the rewards are negligible. You know, there's nice little bits in here like 10 rarity charms and some multi, you know, they're very small though. It's not making a big impact. Milestone 3, again, a legendary tome is nice. Small bits, nothing too high impact. Milestone 4 is somewhat decent, like the Chaos Dust, the Immortal Soulstone, 6-star Chaos Ore, and a mythical tome. Bunch of multi-battles, like 100, 6-star Haste Glyph. Milestone 4 is pretty decent, so that's something that's nice, but you know, milestone 5 is where the biggest bulk of stuff is, and honestly it's mostly loaded into this. There are 1,750 points total, so you can skip 250, right, total in this entire 2-week event, which is likely to cover possibly other heroes paths, possibly almost definitely other summoning events, etc. You can skip 250. There's 100, 200, 240, 280. So there are 280 points in this path right here. You cannot skip everything if you want to get the 5-star soul from the Titan event. So Teal is getting them all, right? That's getting everything. And you kind of almost might as well get everything, right? Because the big points are the 100s. To get to 100s, you need a key. So you got to come down here into the middle to get the 2 keys, right? Unlock it and go. I mean, at that point, you've already done half of it, right? You know, for the sake of going through one other key, getting some dust, which is nice, and then getting the points, like you might as well kind of go the extra hog, I would say. And then these points on the side aren't too bad. So I feel like, you know, either you're going to get 40 points, which is, you know, you're skipping 240. You've basically skipped everything for the Titan event. You can skip nothing else in terms of Titan points, basically for the rest of the entire event. Or I feel like you try to grab everything and give yourself a lot of leeway. But again, this is actually really expensive too. Teal is 53,750. It really adds up. It really, really does. The cost of this adds up very quickly. Because again, like these points are actually quite expensive down here. So yeah, this puts you in a really good spot for the Titan event. But again, it's going to cost you. Like I said, even if I pulled all my soul stones, we get most of the way there. And I'd say with the champion training over the few days, that's not too bad. That to me looks pretty doable. But like you're just setting yourself up well for you're basically allowing yourself to skip some summoning events and guaranteeing, I suppose, in a fairly meaningful way, a 5-stars in Zenogre Blade Master Soul. That's looking quite likely for you if you do this. Like you're going to be quite flexible. But it's expensive too. The final sort of path I would say is just Scream. This is what I would basically do for almost everybody, right? Which is only 6,000 points. Super cheap. It's just grab some silver, some gems, some core hammers, and this. I mean, you can go down this right-hand side if you want. Doesn't make a difference. But yeah, just grab the 40 points. This keeps you in the running for completing the Titan event, but you know, you're slightly screwed. I mean, it's kind of rough as well, because if we look at red, right, if you do the red path, if you get the guaranteed champion, which is a brutal cost, you've skipped all the, like, you've only done the green path, right? That's the only overlap. With teal, you've missed 240 points from Titan event, getting him. So you're in a pretty rough spot. I mean, you've got one extra key, so you could absolutely come down and grab like 100 points here. Maybe, right? From red, you could add on an extra 1,500 points and get yourself 100 extra Titan points. But it's kind of brutal. So there you go. Like I said, the Titan event, there's you know, like 100 lesser extra, like there's some okay stuff in here. I feel like, honestly, with this stuff, you know, I can really see just going, you know what, screw that, that's way too intense. I think that could be a big relief for you, to be honest. Just say, okay, you know what, I don't care about this Titan event, whatever. This is gonna, like, am I gonna be able to commit to going the whole hog? Too much for me. Like, maybe I'll grab milestone 4, maybe not. You know, we'll see. I'm just gonna take it easy. You know, 600 points for a legendary skill tome, that's not too bad. I can get 600 out of the 1750 available total. Maybe I can go for that, but you know, I'm not gonna stress. I'm taking it pretty chill. This event is ridiculous. I'm just gonna skip the whole thing. No thanks, not for me. You know, let's just skip this whole event because this is ridiculous. I'm going to skip that. Forget about it. Again, this summon pool, specialist summon pool, I don't want to spend money. I'm skipping all of that. Like, if you skip everything, I'll tell you, like, you can sit back with some relief, can't you? You can just go, you know what? Screw all that. Not interested, not arsed. I'm just going to chill and enjoy the game. Like, I'll get some Minotaur done or whatever. I'm just chilling. Screw that. And you can relax for the next couple of weeks and prepare for the fusion and not have to stress. I think if you want to do this, this becomes insane, right? If you want to compete at all, it becomes insane. You're going to be doing so much for the next while. Like, this event is absolutely massive. The Titan event, you need to do most of this event to even have a good start in this. I think it's rough. The Titan event looks rough. If you're trying to do the summon pool, you know, you're busting out hundreds of dollars. Like, it just becomes a bit ridiculous. Let me know. What do you think? What are you going to do? For me, I will definitely try for the Titan event at least. I'm certainly going to consider this. I'm going to consider going for just getting the champion. You know, maybe just getting the champion. I might do that with champion training. You know, I probably could. So I might go for that. There's no way I'm getting the 5-star soul from, though. F that. That's way too much. Zero chance. So yeah, either for me, with the soul stones I have, I'm either going to just do the teal thing and get really well started on the Titan event, or maybe, you know, I could probably swing the Titan event anyway, and then I could go grab the Alatreon just to have him. But don't know, like, is he going to make a difference to any team? Is he worth the effort? I really don't know. And I can absolutely understand just going, you know, screw this. I'm not doing any of it. I'm skipping everything. We'll see. Let me know what you think. See you next time. Goodbye.